Hey, before we dive in, please take a quick moment to support this podcast. Hit subscribe, like this episode, share it with someone who might need it, and drop a comment with what resonates for you. Your engagement really helps this podcast grow and reach more listeners. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Now let's go. Hi, I'm Dr. Stephanie Jacobs, equipping us and our relationships to keep moving forward. So come and journey with me, and along the way, stick these tools in your back pocket. We all crave the sense that someone truly gets us. Beyond being listened to, there's something profoundly grounding about feeling understood. When another person can step into our experience for just a moment and say, that makes sense. This is the essence of validation, one of the most underrated but transformative forms of emotional connection we can offer each other. Beginning in the mid 20th century, validation in relationships emerged from Carl Rogers' person centered therapy, where offering unconditional positive regard and empathy showed that people grow best when they feel deeply accepted and understood. In the late 1980s and 1990s, Marsha Linehan's dialectical behavior therapy transformed validation into a formal skill, defining it as communicating that a person's emotions and behaviors make sense within their context. In the 1990s and 2000s, John and Julie Gottman, Susan Johnson, and other couple researchers demonstrated that chronic invalidation through ongoing behaviors like contempt and criticism predicts relational breakdown, while emotional validation acts like first aid, reducing conflict escalation and restoring safety and connection. Since the 2010s, validation has left the therapy room and entered mainstream culture through social media, where constant comparison and exposure to digital life have intensified the hunger for external approval. The seen and heard movement reinforces that perceiving oneself as being emotionally made sense of is a necessary relational nutrient, supporting emotional survival and enduring bonds. Validation means acknowledging that another person's feelings, reactions, or thoughts are understandable, given their circumstances. This is the essence of validation, telling someone that their inner world is real, coherent, and worthy of care. It doesn't mean you agree with their perspective or approve of their choices. Validation is about recognizing their inner logic. It means you're saying, given what you've lived through, felt, believed, and or experienced, your reaction adds up. When someone says, I can see why that would upset you, they're not fixing or analyzing. They're simply meeting the other person where they are. This simple act can turn defensiveness into openness and isolation into connection. At a nervous system level, that kind of attuned response turns down the alarm bells of shame and self doubt and replaces them with a felt sense of safety. In that safety, people no longer have to fight to defend their feelings or prove their pain. which frees up energy for reflection, problem solving, and genuine closeness. In this way, validation becomes less about saying the right words and more about offering a relational home where someone's emotions are allowed to exist without being minimized, fixed, or judged. Before we can validate, though, we have to attune. Attunement is the ability to slow down and notice what's really being expressed beneath the words. What emotion is alive in their tone, their eyes, their posture? Once we sense it, empathy bridges the gap, allowing us to imagine what their experience might feel like. Validation is simply the verbal expression of that empathy. It's how we turn our understanding into language that heals. And yet, so many of us forget to validate. We rush past people's emotions, and even our own, often with the best intentions. Maybe it's our discomfort with pain, our urge to solve problems, or the belief that reassurance, in the form of, don't feel bad, will help someone feel better. Sometimes we fear that acknowledging someone's feelings will make things worse, or that empathy implies agreement. In truth, these reactions usually create distance. When we skip validation, people don't feel better, they just feel unseen. Validation matters everywhere in friendships, romantic relationships, workplaces, and families. For individuals, it's deeply regulating. It reassures the nervous system that it's safe to feel. In relationships, it's the foundation of trust and intimacy. In communication and conflict resolution, it's what keeps discussions from escalating. When both people feel validated, defenses fall away, making space for collaboration and mutual understanding. Imagine a difficult conversation where, instead of saying, you're overreacting, we pause and respond with, I can understand why this was upsetting. That single shift changes the entire dynamic. It communicates respect, softens tension, and opens the way forward. Validation doesn't cost much time or effort, yet it can change the emotional temperature of a moment instantly. It's the quiet assurance that someone's experience makes sense, that they make sense. And in a world where so many people feel unseen or misinterpreted, that small act can mean everything.